Hello, everyone. In today's webinar, we're just going to go over the booking engine side of the cloud. So on the left here, I'm going to click on the booking engine tab. At the top, just get rid of these. At the top, you have your custom URL. So this is the link that you would send to your website people, whoever's going to change the links on your website. And if you click on that link, you can kind of test it out as far as what it'll look like. We will theme out your booking engine to look like your website. So this is just kind of a demo testing. It's not themed out right now, but that will already be done. And then same thing with the mobile side. It'll have the kind of your theme that you have with your website. When you go to the booking engine calendar, at first I have it set up right now to display 2 months. So it's showing the 2-month calendar, and then at the top here we have the option to switch to the full availability search, or kind of like a 2-week calendar. To set up these options in your booking engine tab, you go to the calendar options, and at the top is where I could set that up. So I have 2 months displaying first when they first get to that page. You could have it where it's that 2-week calendar displaying first. You could also have it where I don't want them to switch over to the 2 month or 2 weeks. So I could just turn that off, and they have to just navigate using the 2 month. So however you want to set that up, that's in the booking engine and calendar options right there. With the 2-month calendar, essentially they would select their dates first. So they would pick their dates that they're coming to stay. They can change the adults or children or whatever category you have listed there. If you had any promo codes bookable, they can type in that code here, and then they would just click next. This is going to take them to a list of all of your units that you have marked as bookable. So it looks like we have 2 units. If you have any images for the units, they'd be displayed up here in the top left. When I hover over that, it just gets a little bit larger. If you click on the image, down here you can just kind of scroll through and view all the images that you have for this unit. Details, so this would be in the unit description if we're displaying by individual unit. We can also display by unit type, and that would be in the rate section if you want to show by unit type. This availability, that's just going to show what's available for this individual unit or unit type, and then there's rates in there. And then the policies and restrictions, any policies that I have set up, it would be displayed here. If they're using the 2-week calendar, pretty much it would list all of your units that you have bookable going down the left-hand side here. And then now I can just go through and decide what dates I want for that unit. Again, if you hover over the image, it'll get a little bit larger, and it'll take me back to that screen. I talked about we can display by either individual units or by unit types. That would be under the units and unit type section. And then at the top is where you'll kind of decide how you want to display your booking engine. So right now this one's set up with individual units, and then it's just showing the 2 units that are bookable. I can also change that to unit types. And then so I have my 2 unit types listed here, and then those are my bookable units inside those unit types. Images. If I click on the Images tab, to add an image, you're just going to click in the top right here, Add Image. And then I have some images saved on my computer here, so I'm just going to select a few. And then I'm just going to drag those into the Drop Files section. And then it'll upload those, and then just click Save All. That'll save the images to my available image section over here on the left. 2 ways to add them to the units. You can either click on the individual unit, the little gear button in the top right of each image. And then I can change the unit here just by selecting a unit. Rate plans, if I'm displaying by rate plans and not individual unit, I can do that here. We can also show images for point of sale items and packages. So packages, you can add that here. And then if you make any changes, just make sure and save in the top. You can also select a unit on the right here. So I can select like demo 2, for example. And then I can just add another image. So just click on the add button and it'll drop it in that section. This is also the order that the image will display. So this is kind of that first one on the page. So this is the first one that they see. And then it'll go kind of in that order. You can click and drag and change the order just like that. Also in this drop down, if I scroll down a bit, these are my rate plans. So this would be my unit types. And then here's my packages. And then here's my point of sale items. So again, it's just selecting the item and then clicking the add button, and it'll add that for the unit or item. Booking settings. So right now I'm allowing guests to go through the full process of creating a reservation. You can change the top to display only. Pretty much when I do that, they'll get to, let's use this one for example, they'll get to the unit section, and then it'll just be this call to book option. So they're not allowed to select the unit because I'm not live. I'm just really just displaying everything. So the guests can just really see your availability, but they can't make an actual booking. So right now we're doing by individual unit. So that's the unit section. Otherwise, we can also do by that rate plan or unit type. Down below is when I'm going to allow bookings. So if I have a 0 in this box, that's just allowing same day bookings. So they can book today. And then I'm going out a full 365 days. If you do allow same day bookings, down below you can select a cutoff time. So my cutoff time right now is set up for 7 p.m. You can change that here. If you don't allow same day bookings, this will just be grayed out because there is no cutoff time because I'm only allowing next day. So this cutoff time is just for the same day bookings. So default number of rooms, all that's saying is when they get to this section, this is the number of rooms that it'll default to. So I said 1, so it'll just be 1 room. Same with default length of stay. It's going to automatically go to the 2 nights. Let me just refresh this. So when they first get on here, it should just take them to 2 nights. Max number of rooms. So after they create their first booking, so I create, oops, I need to change that back, allow reservations. So I create my booking here. At the top, if you want to, try this again. So I select my unit. At the top, if you want to allow them to book more than 1 unit, it'll just be like this. Would you like to add another room? And they can click here and then go through and add whatever rooms you guys might have available. Here, I don't have any rooms, that's why it takes you there. But that's where the max number of rooms. So if you want them to, and then when it downloads into the system, it'll create a group booking for the guest. So you can have them book more than 1 unit at a time. And then the max length of stay, how far out do you want them to stay? You just set that up there. And then again, if you make any changes, just save. Payment settings. So if you are fully integrated with Shift4, so you're processing through the cloud, you can take the deposit policy right when they make the booking, and it'll also charge them that full gift certificate amount if you wanted to sell gift certificates from your site. If you're not using Shift4, you just won't have a payment settings button here. So this is just for Shift4. Pretty much at the top, I just turn that on. When I have that turned on, whatever I have set up in my deposit policy section, it's going to charge them that amount once they book, and then whatever value they want to purchase a gift certificate for, it'll charge them that right when they purchase that. I'll go ahead and save that. Step customization. So this is just kind of the names that we have our tabs here. So at the top, that's the names that we're calling it. So you can change that if you'd like right here. Otherwise, this will be the default that's in there. But again, it's just the tabs here. And then down below, you could say if you want to sell packages online, you could check that box to sell packages. And then also for the point of sale, just check the box. Unit customization. So this is kind of how we're describing our units. So we call it a room and multiples rooms. Right now I'm showing my rates. I'm showing the average. So what that is in this section, it's going to show the average right there. So kind of the average daily rate is going to be listed at the top there. You can also change that to just show the total. Pretty much whatever their total stay would be, it's just going to display that. So now it's just showing the total. At the bottom, so you can sort by, and these are all your choices. So I can do by unit order, whatever kind of you have displayed on your occupancy map, from like 1 to 10, call it. Highest rate to lowest rate to highest, or by the capacity that I allow guests to stay in my unit. And then at the bottom here is if you want to show units with no vacancy. Maybe guests stayed with you in the past and they know they want this particular unit. They can click on that availability for the unit right here, and they could see when that unit that they want is available. So maybe this is when they'll choose their vacation or whatever. Calendar options, we already kind of went over that, but you can either display the 2-month or the 2-week calendar, and I can allow them to switch, or I can turn that off where they can just view the one that I choose. Conditions and policies. So this is where we'll set up our terms and conditions. The terms and conditions is the last thing that the guest will see when they make a reservation. So if I just go down to the bottom, it's kind of the last thing I see. I have to check this box saying that I agree with everything above. So that's your terms and conditions. Whereas your policies, that's where I clicked in the room and was able to view the policies. So either by the image or down below. If I just click here, this is where it's the policies. So terms and conditions, more in your face. I have to check a box that I agree to it. Policies, they'd have to go to the policy tab to read those. Just add those in there. Minimum stay policy. So what this is let's say I have a 3-night minimum set up of our property, and I have one night that's kind of just available, like someone's reservation ends on the Tuesday and another one doesn't start till Thursday. So this Wednesday, it's not going to follow the 3-night minimum rule, so it's just there and it's available. So what we can do is we can relax those rules just by clicking this button up here. And then within number of days, so you would set that up maybe within 14 days. And then how should we relax that? So I want to reduce windows to only days available. So maybe I have a 3-night and there's 2 nights available during that time frame. That's the unbookable. I can reduce it and it'll make them book at least 2 nights. Or I could just waive that requirement completely. So now someone can book 1 night, or they can book 2 nights, whatever's kind of available. So those are your options there. Confirmation letter. So the guest is going to receive a letter right when they make a booking, and then you're also going to receive a letter at the property. We could just set up one letter. So whatever letter you have in your configuration, letters and templates, you can choose that from here in the drop-down. So I'm choosing just confirmation. So this is the one that'll be sent to both me and the guest when they book. Custom fields. So we can show the source of contact, the reason for their stay. So you have the options up here to show those, but I'm allowing the guest to skip, or I can show and require them to fill in something. These two are like drop downs, so it's whatever you have in your configuration settings and source of contact and reason. So whatever I have listed here and that I have marked as bookable. So that one's marked as bookable. Facebook bookable. So whatever I have marked as bookable is what will display in the drop down. Same with reason. So whatever I have listed here and then marked as bookable. Down below, we have our custom fields. So this is the text box, so they'd have to type in some text as far as whatever fields you want. So right now I have a test, and I'm showing that, but I'm allowing the guest to skip. Same thing in here. I can show and require them to fill in something. So maybe I want to know their arrival time, and I need to know that, so I would require that, and then they'll have to at least put something in that box. Those custom fields are in the configuration settings, and then custom fields and dates. When you click to add a new custom field, you'll get the option, do you want to have this go in the person page so it's always following the guest, or the reservation side, maybe just on this reservation, are they arriving at this time, whatever. So those are those choices there. And then mark is required, so that's marking it as required on the booking engine side, so I'm forcing them to put something in there, and then I'm going to show that on the booking engine. And then again, your title would just be up here, so maybe that's arrival time. Bookable guest categories, so I'll click on that. So you can set up in the configuration and guests, you could set up kind of what type of guests. So right now I'm just saying adults and children. Maybe I narrowed down my children, so I want to know kind of an age range, so I can add that in here to my guest types. Maybe I want to know if they're bringing a pet, so I have a pet as a guest type. So whatever guest types you have set up in here, in the booking engine, under the bookable guest categories, it's kind of what are you going to show on the side here. So I'm going to show adults and children, and then with my drop down. Website calendar script generator. So this would be for your whoever's doing the change of your links on your website. So if you have a page that does individual calendars, so maybe I have a link that goes to all my units on my website, and then for room 1, I want to just show a calendar for that. What they would do is they would select the unit up here. So I have demo unit 2, for example. And then down below, it's going to drop in that script that you'll need to add to your website. This is just the individual calendar for this demo 2 unit. And all your units that are marked bookable, they would just be listed in this drop down so that you can select between them and get a different script. And then this is as far as the calendars, do you want to show like 2 calendars, maybe just 1, so however many calendars you want to go out, that would be there, and then it's just grabbing this. You guys won't have a analytics tracking scripts. We'll go in there and add your Google Analytics for you. So any issues with that, just let support know. We have this. You guys will not see that. If you are going to use the gift certificate option, you'll click down here. If you don't see the gift certificate option, so you're not even seeing this down below, it's just because you don't have it added as a payment type yet. To do that, just click on the configuration tab and go to payment settings, and then you'll just have to add a new type called gift certificate. And then you'll see that gift certificate down here. In the gift certificate options, put in the minimum value that you want the guest to purchase that for, and then whatever increments you want by. And then there's a gift confirmation letter. So this is kind of has more like the financial stuff as far as what they purchased the gift certificate for, if they used what type of credit card. And then the gift certificate letter is the actual certificate. So that's the difference between those two. You will get the confirmation letter as well as the guest, and then the gift certificate, the guest will just get that. And then if you do apply a fee to the gift certificates, you can do that down below. There is a terms and conditions for gift certificates that you just add here. And then there's also a thank you message, kind of the last step they'll see. You'll add that there. And we'll go over that after the booking engine side. On the booking engine side, so if we are doing either right now we'll just do the 2 months, so they'll select their dates. So select their dates, and then next is they select their unit. If I had any packages available, it would be listed here in the package section. Extras is where our point of sale items are. So they can select the point of sale item. When they select that, it'll just kind of drag it over to my invoice side, as you saw there. And then everything looks good. They can click next. At the top, you'll notice that they can click to add another room because I'm selling more than one room at a time. Just click next. Next step is just filling out their information. This. Oops. Credit card section. So I do have a deposit set up. So the guest is under the impression that they're paying this $358.65 right when they make this booking. If I did have Shift4 and I had that set up, they would be charged that deposit amount. So whatever amount you have. To set up that deposit amount, it's in the configuration settings and deposit policies. So whatever policy I have here listed at number 1 at the top, because you can have multiple policies, is what will display on the booking engine. So they'll be under the impression, looks like it's 50%, including taxes and fees and everything. So that's what the guests will see. Just add that. So this is where we have the purpose of your visit with the drop down, so they can select whatever you had in that configuration settings. And then same with how did we find you, so Facebook. And then this is where if I had like that arrival time or whatever custom field that you wanted to add, this is where they could add that text in there. And then at the bottom is always going to just be a special request that'll go to their special request notes if they type anything. And then down below is the terms and conditions. So this is what we added in the terms and conditions settings. And then they have to check this box that they agreed to it, and then they book their reservation. Now I'm set up to automatically charge. I guess I'm not. I thought I was. So if you're set up to automatically charge that deposit, so in the payment settings, I am. Must have needed to refresh. What'll happen though is I typed in a credit card that's not valid. At the top, the guest will just see a message saying, thank you for your reservations, but we did have some issues with your credit card. So someone will be reaching out. It'll still let the guest book the reservation, and you'll just get a message on your dashboard when they book. So right here for that reservation, I'd have gotten a message saying that I had some issues, some errors with the credit card. It'll be a big red message. You can't really miss it. And it'll also be kind of at the top of this page too. And then again, the guests will see that here on this page that there is an issue processing their credit card. When the reservations come through, so on your dashboard, you'll notice that they come through with that the globe symbol. That's just indicating that it came from your booking engine. So you can view that there. And then 721 on the occupancy map, it'll also be in the right-hand corner of the reservation. So there's Kyle's reservation. It's just right there, just indicating that it came from your booking engine side. Gift certificates, if I click on that, and then gift certificates. Again, it'll be themed out to look like your website, but at the top, they'll put in their value. So whatever value I want to purchase this gift certificate for, and then name. If they're getting this gift certificate for someone, they can fill out this information down below. If they do fill that out, Kyle up above would get the confirmation for the gift certificate, and the recipient, whoever I'm sending it to, would get that actual gift certificate. And then if they were doing that, they can add some special notes and then confirm. Next step is entering their credit card. Again, if you're fully set up with the system, it's going to charge the guest at this time. And then the last step is that terms and conditions that we set up in gift certificate. It would be listed down here in this box. And then just buy now. So that would be it for purchasing a gift certificate. Then they'll get the little thank you message at the end there. So whatever your thank you message is, it would be listed up here. So here's kind of that message with the credit card that I was talking about. There was problems processing the payment using your credit card you provided. We will contact you directly if we need additional information. So that would be the same thing on the booking engine side. It's not going to, again, it's not going to stop the guests from booking, but they will get this message saying that we had some issues with their credit card on the dashboard screen. If I showed my gift certificates, let's go ahead and show this widget. In the bottom, there's Kyle's gift certificate. There's what I was talking about as far as the credit card error. So this is what you would see, same thing with the booking. If you click here, it'll just tell you kind of the message again. So we had some issues processing that credit card. So that's kind of the message you'll get there. It'll download the gift certificate on this page if you have this gift certificate tab displayed on your dashboard. And then on my gift certificate tab over here to the left, it'll input that gift certificate at the top there. And then again, there's the globe just indicating that it came from your site. We do have cancellation policies set up that you could set up a cancellation policy when they cancel with you. We don't have anything set up for the booking engine side. So if a guest wants to cancel, they do have to contact you. That question a lot. That is pretty much it with the booking engine settings. Lately, people have been having issues with images. They've been clicking on this little button here where it says or click. It seems to work best if you just click and drag. So I'm selecting my image from I have it saved here on my computer, and then I'm just dragging it over. And then it will add those images, and then you just click save. You can also add images in the configuration and unit section. So I'm just selecting a unit, and then there's an image tab here. And then again, I would click on the add image, and same thing, just click and drag it over. When you do this one, it'll ask you if you want to add this image to this unit. You can just click yes, and it'll automatically populate that over to the right section. Otherwise, it's the same thing. I could just click and add an image, or I can click on the little gear to add the image to whatever unit or rate plan. If you are going to display by unit types in the configuration and rate plans, so I have my 3-bedroom unit type. At the top, if I click edit, this is where I would add that description for this unit type. So I'd add it here. And then same with the images, same thing. I would click on add image if I want to add more, or I can just simply click on the add button to move it over for this rate plan. Once you get set up in the cloud, you can automatically send your website people this link, because that link isn't going to change. So they can start adding that link to your site as soon as you're ready. And it should be themed out. If not, let us know. That is it with the booking engine settings. If you have any questions or anything comes up, you can always call us at 303-872-0220, and then option 2 will get you over to support. Or you can email us at support@rezstream.com, and we'll be able to answer your questions. All right, thanks for joining the webinar.